Welcome to Finland, the ultimate world rally. If you only ever make it to one rally in your life, make it this one. With flat-out speeds of over 200 kilometers an hour and jumps that launch cars 70 meters in distance, there is no margin for error. Win here and your name goes down in rally folklore. The base for Rally Finland is Jyväskylä, and it's close to here that the first three stages got underway on Thursday. The 135 kilometers of stages on day 2 head towards the Lahti region closer to Helsinki. Day 3 returns to the classic stages back up north. The 20-kilometre high-speed Hassi is our stage of the day. In fine Finnish tradition, the first half is a high-speed ride-of-your-life roller coaster, but then transforms into a narrow, gnarly car cruncher. Our featured driver is 2010 Rally Finland winner and local hero Jari-Matti Latvala. We will follow his progress throughout the weekend. At certain times in your life, you are in the right place at the right time, and for you now, this is one of them. Stay exactly where you are to see the world's finest rally drivers tackle the world's greatest rally. To win here in Finland requires total courage and commitment. One moment's distraction or an instant of hesitation will result in disaster. The speeds are incredible, the jumps take the breath away, and that's why over a tenth of Finland's 5 million population flock to the forest, creating an electrifying atmosphere.
The people in the forest, they are competing at the same time when we are competing. For sure they want the Finnish people to win. And that's quite a great spirit over here, which brings the atmosphere up.
This nation boasts a proud pedigree of home winners, and Jyväskylä local Mikko Hirvonen and Jari-Matti Latvala are charged with defending that lineage.
It's not so many other than Finns who has won the rally, and of course we take pride out of it as well, that we keep the crown in Finland, and I want to keep it in Jyväskylä, so for sure we just want to keep it here.
World champion Sebastian Loeb is one of the few select non-locals to have won here. He knows very well how tough it is to beat a Finn on home soil.
A few times where I was fighting for the victory here, and with Marcus I never won. Finally with Mikko I won for a few seconds, but it was 110% from the start to the end.
Hirvonen starts his home event under intense pressure in the title race.
I can't lose any more points to Sebastian Loeb, otherwise he's going to run away, and Ogier is not far behind as well, so thinking of championship I would definitely need to win this one.
Our featured driver Jari-Matti Latvala hits a century here this weekend with his 100th WRC start. Even after sampling the sweet taste of victory here last year, there is no danger of complacency.
Of course, this is a very important rally for the Finns, and it gives a great a spark for this year event as well. But it doesn't help you to win 2011, you need to have new things and new confidence to win this year.
Championship leader Sebastian Loeb will lead the cruise away. 17 points behind is Mikko Hirvonen, with Greece winner Sebastian Ogier on 124 points. He's just 5 behind Mikko. Jari-Matti Latvala is 4th on the road, with Petter Solberg just behind, ahead of fellow Norwegian Mads Osberg. Matt Wilson is 7th in the championship on 36 points, while Kimi Räikkönen will hope to perform well at his home event. Henrik Solberg is next, then Danny Sordo in the first of the returning minis, with Evgeny Novikov starting just ahead of the second, driven by Chris Meek. Then 2 local privateers, Matti Rantanen and Jari Kettamar, are both proven performers. As ever, in Finland, the fans are out in force, and there's a familiar face in the crowd. Spanish legend Carlos Sainz famously became the first non-Scandinavian to win here 21 years ago. And Sainz's former teammate Sebastian Loeb is down on the start line. Rally Finland is go. Sebastian hard on the gas for the start of the quickest rally of them all. Loeb already has a handy advantage in the championship race. The pressure this weekend is firmly on this man. Mikko Hirvonen is desperate for another win on home soil, and the early splits are looking good. Oh, but he's a bit wide, and that was a big impact at the rear of the car. Concern already, and he's whacked a tree, and I'd be amazed if he's not damaged something there. Well, drama already in Finland, not far back. Sebastian Ogier is also on his way into the Lankamar stage. Frenchman has been the revelation of the season, 3 wins already to his name, and he really shone in Finland last year. Back up to Hirvonen though, and that car is clearly not in full working order. The Fiesta with a lot of damage at the rear and not looking quite in line either. What a disaster on the very first stage.
Mikko, obviously car coming crabbing in there, the bumper missing. What exactly happened?
I don't know. We went into one left-hander and the engine just died. And I didn't have any drive, so I went wide in that corner, hit the tree and lost all the brakes and the rear suspension is damaged. So engine just died.
A nightmare start for one of Ford's Flying Finns then. So the hopes of a nation could fall on the shoulders of this man. And after winning his home event last year, Latvala has proven he's up to the task. The Finn is 3.3 seconds slower than Ogier in stage 1 though. Well, his teammate is now having to bleed the brakes in the road section. There are still 2 stages to run on this first afternoon, so this problem could yet become a crisis for Mikko and co-driver Jarmo Leitinen. Former Finnish national champion Jari Ketamar is driving a privately entered Fiesta, and he's made an immediate impact with the quickest time in stage 1. In the shorter stage 2, the road positions for the long second day are decided. So, running first on the road and powerless to react to the chasing pack's tactics, Loeb could end up leading the rally at the end of the day. His closest championship rival, Hirvonen, though, is still struggling. Despite his makeshift repairs, the problem is only getting worse for the former Finland winner. Midway through the stage, the damaged wheel jams and eventually punctures. Another minute lost, and with it, any realistic hope of challenging for victory. It has quite simply been a horrible start for a devastated Mikko. The Finn has made it to the end of the stage. You can see the back corner that has caused all the problems. Hirvonen quickly out to take a look.
Something went between the wheel and something, and it just locked the wheel like 4 or 5 gears before the finish, and it just dragged it all the way through, so that's why we had a puncture.
So that's one of the favourites seemingly out of the running back in the stage. Ogier, as expected, has eased off the pace to drop behind his teammate Loeb. The road sweeping effect is less severe in Finland than other rallies, but it does still make a difference. And as he chases his compatriot in the championship race, Ogier needs every advantage he can get.
Only one man is important for me, is Seb Loeb for the championship. Now Mikko had a problem, so now my goal is to try to beat Seb.
Finland also marks the second event for the reborn mini team. Danny Sordo claimed a promising 6th place finish on the team's debut in Italy a few months back. And again, the Spaniard is showing good pace. He's 5th fastest after the first 2 stages. The leading mini driver early on, though, is Matti Rantanen. Oh, but that could be game over already for the Finnish privateer. A big off for Matti and co-driver Mikko Lukka, and they will go no further today. Yet another indication of what can go wrong if you go offline in Finland. Matti and Mikko are thankfully unharmed after that dramatic off. Finland's blisteringly quick roads are already claiming their fair share of victims. Oh, that's Russian privateer Evgeny Cherkasov. He's made exactly the same mistake as Rantanen, who you can see there running down the road to help. Again, driver and co-driver okay, but their car certainly isn't. And that's Norwegian Fiesta R2 driver Frank Tore Larsen. This particular corner of stage 2 clearly proving difficult to judge. So a bruising start for some, but it's Loeb who leads from his teammate Ogier after stage 3. Latvala in 3rd is 4.4 seconds behind the leader, and like his compatriot Ketamar, also backed off for a better day 2 road position. Hirvonen's dreams of victory are seemingly shattered.
What's the plan for tomorrow then?
I just have to do all I can, so I think I should tell all the people to maybe take a few steps back when I'm coming, because it doesn't really matter what happens now, so I just go flat out and see how high I can climb back.
Welcome to the second day of Rally Finland, where we are about to move on to the first of the event's new stages for 2011. There has been a reshuffle in the start list after the 3 stages on Thursday. Loeb still leads the way, but it's Sebastian Ogier who will follow him into action. He, like Jari-Matti Latvala and Jari Ketemar, deliberately dropped behind Loeb for a better road position. Danny Sordo is the first Mini onto the stages, with Petter Solberg ahead of the second Mini of Chris Meek. The 2M Sports Stobarts of Mads Osberg and Matt Wilson will be looking nervously over their shoulder because Mikko Hirvonen, starting 10th on the road, will be on the attack. There are 8 stages to come on this busy second day, and for the first time in 30 years, we've moved south to a new group of stages around the city of Lahti. 135 kilometres in total to come today. We start with the incredible Hassi test, and this 20-kilometre road is our stage of the day. First to test out his pace notes for this new challenge is Sebastian Loeb. The DS3 screams off into action, 0 to 100 kilometres an hour in around 3.5 seconds in these machines. And already you can see how incredibly quick this road is. As always in Finland, the battles are really tight. Currently Loeb's teammate Ogier is just 2.8 seconds behind. The 2 Citroën driving Frenchmen are locked in battle again on the most spectacular roads in the world. Of course, we can't discount this man. Jari-Matti Latvala is flying the flag for Ford and for Finland. It's a heavy weight on his young shoulders, but starting the stage 4.4 seconds behind Loeb. He's already up at the first split time. And a terrifying view here from Jari's bumper cam of this incredible flat-out roller coaster start to this stage. Using our WRC stage simulator, we can compare the leading trio as though they've started the stage at the same time, approaching the marker after 6.4 kilometres, and Latvala's lost some ground. Ogier is a second up, and his teammate with Latvala a further 10th of a second behind. So, little sign of any disadvantage running first on the road for the world champion then. There's a fairly humid start out there, so there isn't too much loose gravel for Seb to sweep away. He's into the tight technical finish to the stage now. Completely different characteristics here, but it's still very quick. Our stage of the day cleared for Loeb. Let's have a word with the rally leader at the stop control.
It's not easy, huh? It's very fast, jumping a bit everywhere, not high, but you lose just the grip in the corner, and so it's exciting.
Loeb enjoying himself then. Let's rejoin his teammate as he charges on towards the flying finish. Ogier had been a second up at the final split time, so it is looking like a promising stage for the 28-year-old. He's quicker, but only just. It looks like a fight back there from Loeb. Ogier only makes up 1/10 of a second.
Won't get enough.
All still very tight at the top then, and Latvala coming under increased pressure to keep up with the flying Citroëns. It really is tough to get any sort of flow in this final narrow finish to the stage. Let's see what Jari can do. A massive jump over the flying finish, but he's slower again. The leading Finn being beaten on home turf by both Frenchmen, and he will not like that one bit. Another driver still in the mix at the top of the leaderboard is Petter Solberg. The former world champion starts within 13 seconds of the top spot, but our stage of the day is not a good one for Petter. He loses another 4.5 seconds to the rally leader. The fastest man out there at the moment is Mikko Hirvonen. After losing the best part of 2 minutes with that disastrous start, he's unlikely to trouble the podium places, but it hasn't stopped him stretching every sinew in order to recover as much time as possible. Incredible driving here from Mikko. He's almost 11 seconds quicker than anyone else. The flat-out roads are still catching out some, though. That is production WRC guest entry Riku Tarko making a spectacular exit. And Ukrainian PWRC competitor Alexander Saluk makes a similar error. Dramatic scenes here in our stage of the day. problems further back then, but there is no change in the top 3 positions. Petter Solberg has moved up though. He's passed Jari Kettemar for 4th, and his compatriot Mads Osberg is up to 6th place. It's a packed schedule today, so let's get straight back to the dueling Citroens as they tackle the final 2 stages before a midday remote service. And the ebb and flow nature of the scrapping Sebastians has continued in stage 5. The rally leader has the upper hand, but Loeb can't match his teammate in 6th. He loses a couple of seconds to his young rival. The fight does remain extremely tight though. With 20 World Rally cars starting this event, there are battles up and down the leaderboard. Mads Osberg has started well so far. The M Sports Stobart driver is edging closer and closer to the 5th place of Jari Kettemar. Oh, but a massive moment for Mads. Really lucky to get away with that, and he's losing precious seconds when he gets the car back in the right direction. So Osberg remains in 6th for now. Further back, his teammate Matt Wilson is hovering just outside the point-scoring places and pushing hard to move up.
Left 4 minus in long. Slide right. Get on the power.
Oh, but a high-speed mistake for Matsu. Really close to hitting that tree. You can breathe a sigh of relief there. Wilson also getting a reminder how quickly it can go wrong on these breathtakingly quick roads.
160.
Matthew, you're at the end of stage 6, but I think there's been a little moment in there somewhere.
Not little.
Kimi Räikkönen relishes the opportunity to perform in front of his home fans. He's currently in 12th position after being passed by Wilson in stage 5. Oof, Kimi in trouble too. Incredibly close to rolling the car. That was a really close call for the former F1 champion. In all, Räikkönen drops around half a minute with that off-road excursion. Quick check on the 2 mini John Cooper Works machines now. Danny Sordo started strongly again. Oh, but he slipped up too. It's the same corner that Wilson misjudged. The tricky Hivenula test really causing problems. Just a couple of seconds lost for Danny there. His teammate Chris Meek, meanwhile, has understandably opted for a cautious approach. It is all about kilometres for the minis at the moment. Meek is just behind Sordo in 8th. Andreas Mikkelsen's S2000 Skoda Fabia is being watched with interest. The car is being run by Volkswagen while the team build up towards their WRC bow in 2013. The other lucky young driver selected for evaluation by the team is Jonas Lindroos, former Finnish 2-wheel drive national champion. This is how the leaderboard looks after stage 6. Then Loeb remains out front with Ogier, just 2.8 seconds behind. Latvala is still within 10 seconds of the leader, with Petter Solberg slipping adrift in 4th place. A well-earned break from the frenetic action now as the crews move on to a remote service at a picturesque lakefront setting in Lahti. Our featured driver Jari-Matti Latvala has a bit of work to do at the moment. His home fans are willing him on, but he's not quite had the pace to match the Citroens so far.
It looked frustrating in the morning, but now when we did the Hyväneula stage the first time, Drew gave me a bit more confidence, and I haven't had the best feeling. Okay, I've been playing a bit with the setup of the car. Hopefully now we are on the right direction, and I just need to keep focused and pushing hard, and then we see what happens. But yes, I'm gonna push hard.
The drivers are soon back on their way out to the forests. 2 more new stages being taken on for the first time in 2011. The 2 Citroën Total DS3s remain locked together. Loeb is into action first and holds that slender advantage over his teammate. Ogier, though, has matched Loeb blow for blow so far today. And through stages 7 and 8, the younger Sebastian has found another gear. Quicker in both, he edges up to within a second of the rally leader. Jari-Matti Latvala, meanwhile, is attacking with renewed vigour this afternoon. Able to regroup and refocus at the service break, the Ford-man sets his first fastest time in stage 7 and is quicker than both Citroens again in 8.
At last, you've beaten the two Sebastians in front of you. What have you changed to do that?
I tried to take the excitement away from my shoulders. I think that's been the most difficult thing today.
So just look at that up front. Just 5 seconds separate the leading 3 drivers, with Loeb now just 0.7 of a second up on Ogier. Further back, Kettemar has crashed out, promoting Mats Osberg up to 5th. The day is not quite over yet. Stay with us to see if Ogier can finally catch the world champion. Welcome back to central Finland. More from the relentless battles at the front shortly, but first, a quick update on the leading support categories. Finland has also staged the latest round of the Super 2000 series. And this year's SWRC sensation Oit Tänak was again the man to beat early on. The young Estonian was right on the edge though, pushing up to and over the limits at times. Chasing the forward man all the way though was local hero Juho Hänninen. The Skoda driver knows some of these roads from his time in the National Championship, and he pulled ahead of Tänak in stage 6. Running in third early on was Martin Prokop. The Czech star has had his moments, but is under little threat from behind as the second day draws to a close. One man who hasn't made it to the finish though is Evan Benilson, the Norwegian youngster making a spectacular exit from the rally on stage 4. Out front though, with Tänak unable to restart his car following a high-speed spin, it's Hänninen who is in control of his home event. Tänak's problems have left him down in 4th position, while the rally is now Hänninen's to lose with that healthy advantage over Prokop. Finland is also hosting the latest round of the new WRC Academy. Alistair Fisher put in one of his finest displays to lead over the first 6 stages, but the British driver ruined all his hard work by crashing out heavily in stage 7. Irishman Craig Breen had been chasing Fisher hard and looked to be in prime position to take over the top spot. But he hadn't counted on Egon Kaur. Hailing from nearby Estonia, the runaway championship leader passed Breen in stage 7 and replaced Fisher in the top spot at the same time. Back with the WRC boys now though, and with 3 stages still to run on this second day, Sebastian Loeb's lead is hanging by a thread. He's held his fired-up teammates off all day, but with that advantage now down to just 0.7 of a second, can he hang on?
140 moins mi-long des verts, 150 mètres. Poste 6 plus frein pour 60 mètres, gauche 140 moins long. Sur double attention.
Ogier has been in inspired form again this afternoon. One more push here in stage 9 and the rally lead will be his. Just the last few corners to come now. This is gonna be very close. Yes, he's done it! Sebastian Ogier leads in Finland for the first ever time. Another terrific drive there from Ogier, but can Jari-Matti Latvala continue the fine form he's already shown this afternoon? Oh, just bogged down in the ruts there. He's really wide and off the road briefly. A scary moment there for the Finn. He has survived, but that will cost Jari-Matti a few seconds. Further back, meanwhile, it's been another really promising day for the new Mini team. Danny Sordo is on course to repeat the fine 6th place finish he scored in Italy, while Chris Meek will be delighted to make it through the 11 stages so far. These John Cooper Works machines are certainly looking competitive in the fastest event of them all. With the event finally poised though, again to avoid being the first car on the road tomorrow, final stage tactics have played their part. Reacting to a deliberately incurred time penalty by Loeb, Ogier backed off for around 13 seconds to drop back behind his teammate, and that has played right into the hands of Latvala. Now just 2.6 seconds separate the top three. What a finale we have on our hands then here in Finland. The two Citroens lead the way, but with Finnish pride at stake, few would bet against Latvala, claiming his second consecutive home win. As ever, follow the action as it happens on WRC.com, and make sure you join us again tomorrow for the final day's highlights.
Welcome to day 3 of Rally Finland. This is an event where World Rally legends are made. A fascinating three-way battle for victory will determine our 2011 Finland champion. Our featured driver, Jari-Matti Latvala, is one of those three who will follow his every move in his quest to repeat his 2010 victory. He is 2.6 seconds behind Sebastian Loeb, who leads from Ogier. And there is sure to be plenty going on outside the top three. Stay with us and you won't miss a moment. The rally results will be decided in the power stage, where bonus championship points are up for grabs. At this stage of the season, every point counts in the race for the title. The fans are out in force here in Finland. This is the big one of the year, and the rally every driver wants to win. Pre-rally favourite and Jyväskylä resident Mikko Hirvonen got it all wrong on day one. And if he can make mistakes here, the less experienced would also fall foul to the finish stages. Jari Kettemar had led the rally on day one and was in a solid 5th position, proof that even local knowledge can count for nothing if you're out of luck. For others, it really was their lucky day, escaping with just a scare. Back up in the fight for victory at the end of day 2, Jari-Matti Latvala also had a lucky escape. But the drama wasn't over. Although Ogier had just taken the lead from Loeb, the top three jockeyed for position in a game of gravel poker to avoid being rally leader on the final day, with the disadvantage of sweeping the road. Loeb and Ogier kept their cards close to their chests, while Latvala seemed surprised to have played such a good hand.
We took 10-second penalty on the start, so we tried. I don't know if they know it or not.
We throw it, so it was easy to adjust it.
I did it that, but I was really scared, so that was good information.
Here's what lies ahead on this final day of Rally Finland. We still have 11 gravel stages and 140 competitive kilometres to run. It's far from over. Well, it was Loeb who ended up first on the road. Will that position hinder his progress? Sebastian Ogier will certainly hope so. He goes second, followed by the lead forward of Jari-Matti Latvala. Petter Solberg goes fourth, followed by Mads Osberg. Mikko Hirvonen down in 6th after his day 1 disaster. Danny Sordo and Chris Meek lead the minis away in 7th and 8th, followed by Henning Solberg, Matthew Wilson and fan favourite Kimi Räikkönen starting 11th. So to the start of this busy final day. First up, Liestu, Sirki and Yrjö, 3 classic finish stages. Here we go then, Sebastian Loeb and co-driver Daniel Elena power into stage 12. They have a slender 1.5 second advantage to defend, so they'll be on the attack right from the off.
Et droite 140 plus Pontiel en sortie.
It was interesting to see Ogier deliberately drop 13 seconds last night. The Frenchman felt running second on the road would offer a cleaner line, but in these damp morning conditions, there's less loose gravel for Loeb to sweep away. The third man still involved in the fight for victory is 2010 Finland winner and our featured driver Jari-Matti Latvala. A nation of Finns praying he can find the 2.6 seconds he needs to catch Loeb. Jari has his foot hard to the floor as he attacks the early kilometres of Les Deux. Sebastian Loeb is looking committed this morning, and already the split times are very promising. Let's take a look at just how promising that is. Using our WRC stage simulator, we can put the top three on the road as though they'd started at the same time. And take a look at this. Loeb is flying at the 14-kilometre split time. The championship leader is already more than 4 seconds up on both Ogier and Latvala. It's looking like another champion's performance from Monsieur Loeb. Blisteringly quick flowing roads all the way through Les Deux here, and the Frenchman is now charging on towards the flying finish. Stage 12 is cleared, and that has been an incredible display of driving from Seb.
I tried really, really hard. It's a stage I like, and so I was pushing on the limit everywhere.
Last split in, 5.4 quicker for you.
Not bad, not bad. We have to continue.
Loeb has really thrown down the gauntlet this morning. It wasn't looking good for his teammate Ogier at that earlier split time. Let's see if he's been able to respond in the last 7 kilometres. No, 6.4 seconds lost in one stage. Ogier simply blown away by his teammate. So nothing Ogier could do about that breathtaking time from Loeb. Back in the stage, Latvala is giving his all to close the gap. But he's going to be slower as well.
80 maali. Nyppyvasen 5.
Even the local expert couldn't find the speed to match the world champion. Jari Matti slips further adrift. Further back, despite his best efforts, Petter Solberg has been unable to stay with the leading trio. He's been on the ragged edge all weekend to protect his 4th place, but he's coming under a lot of pressure from his young compatriot Mads Osberg. The M-Sport Stobart driver's ultimate aim is to get up to the same level as the Works, Fords and Citroens. He's not quite there yet, but it's been another solid performance. He beats Petter on all 3 stages in the opening loop. With both minis running in the point-scoring places, the new team can certainly be satisfied with their first run at the fastest event on the calendar. Danik Sordo attacking the jumps on the Les Deux stage. Let's take another look at that spectacular shot. Also impressing on this final morning is local favourite Kimi Räikkönen. 3 top 8 stages has propelled the Citroen privateer to within touching distance of the second mini of Chris Meek. Mikko Hirvonen will be feeling a sense of trepidation on the start line of stage 14. Urja is the stage that ended his hopes of victory in spectacular fashion this time last year. The Finn has been setting impressive times again all morning as he chases down Mads Osberg in 5th. And that accident last year certainly hasn't knocked Mikko's confidence, hitting speeds of nearly 150 kilometres an hour. This is brave driving as he bears down on the scene of that terrifying crest. Well, that's the corner successfully passed. He can breathe a sigh of relief and sets the fastest time for good measure.
I thought a little bit for the corner, should I hold the steering a bit tighter or not, but you know, that was important, so I got some time out of Osberg now, so you know, we're still just on the target, so let's see how we can push.
After stage 14, Mikko is within 15 seconds of Mads Osberg's 5th place. But up front, Ogier and Latvala need to respond to Loeb's blistering early morning pace, and they need to do it quickly if they're to remain in this fight for victory. This rally is far from over. Join us after the break to see if our featured driver Jari Matti Latvala can reel in the Citroens. Don't go away. Welcome back to this tense final day of Rally Finland, the greatest rallying arena of them all. On to stages 15 and 16, the final 2 runs before a well-deserved midday service break for the drivers and the cars. For these stages, we're giving you a chance to watch a masterclass from Sebastian Loeb as he continues his spectacular charge to increase his lead over his teammate.
sur Gauchy.
Ominously for his rivals, he appears to remain in imperious form.
Attention, 70 mètres de 140 pour Milo. Et droitier. Et ciel pour Gauchy, 140 très long tard. Et attention, 330 Milo, cours de midi. Sur Gauchy, 130 court derrière arbre. 330 Milo, sur Gauchy, court derrière arbre.
The world champion does lose a little time to Sébastien Ogier in stage 15, but claws it straight back now on 16. Seemingly unstoppable this weekend, Rally Finland is looking more and more like Loeb's to lose. With almost half of the final day complete, Loeb's advantage is up to just under 11 seconds from his teammate Ogier. Latvala is now 20 seconds behind Loeb, and his hopes of claiming a second win in a row are looking bleak. Back at service in Avascular, the fans have turned out in their thousands to catch a glimpse of their sporting hero this weekend, Jari-Matti Latvala. Jari-Matti, our featured driver this weekend. What are your plans this afternoon?
I really try to fight. I need to fight, and hopefully I would get a better feeling and something better with the car, so I would be more confident.
As we head into the afternoon stages, Sébastien Loeb remains the man in charge.
30 seconds.
And the world champion continues to extend his lead at the front. This is a clear message to his teammate that playing tactics is not always the best move. And here is Ogier. He must be rueing his decision to drop back behind Loeb last night. And there looks to be a problem with that DS3. He's picked up a puncture right at the end of the stage. That's a disaster for the Frenchman.
I had a puncture.
What about the rest of the rally now? Is it just about holding on to second place?
I don't know, we will see.
He's not happy, he's not happy at all.
Here comes Jari-Matti Latvala on the next stage. That puncture has cost Ogier dear and given Latvala a renewed energy to push and steal that second place. What can he do? Watch that clock. That's enough. Jari-Matti moves into second place. His next target, Sébastien Loeb.
The battle is on, and I'm happy, but I'm also disappointed. My car is now as it should have been in the beginning of the rally. I have been all the time complaining about the rear of the car. We did a change in the service, and now it is what I have wanted it to be.
Here is another man under pressure, young Norwegian Mads Osberg, being chased by the factory Ford of Mikko Hirvonen for 5th place. Mikko's been on the absolute limit from the word go today, with nothing to lose. The Finn has been at 100% all weekend as he approaches the flying finish. Can he pass Osberg for 5th? Yes, he can, 3.8 seconds quicker, and that's enough. Danny Soro continues his good weekend in the Mini John Cooper Works. Finland holds so much heritage for the Mini mark, and the fans here pleased to see the manufacturer make its return to the Finnish forests on course for 7th place. His teammate Chris Meek has also been having a good weekend in this learning year in the car. Co-driver Paul Nagel calling out the pace notes. Those don't sound like pace notes at all, and they are slowing down in what sounds like an engine temperature problem. That's devastating for the Irish pair. Kimi Räikkönen has so far spent his day dueling with Matthew Wilson. And here's Rene Kuipers in the customer Fiesta. And he's off the road. That is huge. And that car is going no further. Jari-Matti Latvala now just behind Loeb, while Hirvonen passes Solberg for 4th. Sadly, both Minis are missing from our leaderboard. The car's retired after engine temperature problems. Join us after the break for Finland's power stage, and we will crown a rally winner. Can Loeb make history to become the first non-Finn to win in Finland more than once? Don't go away. Welcome back to Rally Finland 2011. Just the power stage remains here in the forests, and what a stage it is. The 4.19 kilometres that make up Lajavori combines long sweeping corners with tight hairpins. Remember, extra points are up for grabs for the top 3 fastest through as we cross to Paul King and Julian Porter live in the commentary box.
There has been absolutely nothing wrong with Mikko's pace all weekend. Just that one mistake on the first day.
He's equal with Henning. That's interesting.
That is interesting. I mean, he's looked quite wild. He's obviously so desperate to get this power stage win. He's won 2 power stages already, of course, this year in Mexico and Italy. Still chasing Loeb in the championship with 3 tarmac rounds to come this season. Every point is crucial for Mikko.
He's taken 13 points on the power stage over the season so far. He's the highest point scorer. He's right on it. Second highest point scorer on the power stage is Loeb with 12.
Yeah, he is really hitting the throttle hard, but well, that's a bit of a worrying split time, really, compared to Henning.
Let's see what he can do on the brave section downhill. Henning was very neat. Let's listen to Jarmo. Persuade his man down the mountain.
Yeah. Come on, Mick. It's all about commitment now.
Now it's interesting, Kira means Titans. Henning had Titans in his notes on that corner as well. Virtually identical notes in that corner.
Into the flying finish very shortly. 2:40.4 the time to beat. Let's see what Mikko can do. Can he make it 3 power stage victories?
Yeah.
Well, so far so good. Oh, sorry, Henning. Not this time.
0.8 up on Hirvonen.
Wow. Well, Mikko has looked worried at the last few times, and he's got the 3 men in absolute form to come, so he might be a bit worried about staying in the points place. He needs extra points, but it might not be coming for Mikko. If this time from Jari Matti is anything to go by, Jari, of course, giving everything.
Beautifully kept in the ruts there, where the others drawn. He kept it in beautifully.
Yeah, terrific commitment as well from Jari. And an amazing view here from Jari's bumper cam. You really get a sense, A, of how flat and smooth the surface is, and B, how absolutely breathtakingly quick these roads are.
He's on his way down the hill, just in the last 2 corners here.
2:39.6. That's his teammate's time, and that's what Latvala is gunning for. He's within 10 seconds. Here comes the flying finish. I tell you what, this is going to be tight. He's slower.
39.9.
Wow, he lost time at the back end of the stage. Mikko looks surprised, and I'm surprised as well. Somewhere he lost a bit of time. 0.3 of a second down on his teammate. He slots into 2nd position in the power stage, but, well, let's see what Sébastien Ogier can do. Remember, this is his 3rd attempt at Rally Finland. He remarkably finished 2nd last year. It's 10 seconds behind local star Latvala. But is he going to finish ahead of Latvala this year?
Slightly wide there, but nothing too much. It's probably speed he's carrying.
Well, Latvala looked to carry a lot of speed, but he seemed to lose some in the
maybe overdriving though. Maybe that can all it be, isn't it? There's no mistakes.
Yeah, just there's no sign of any ruts or anything getting deteriorating for the later runners. It still looks pretty smooth. No real reason why the back end should be slower. 2:39.6.
Just really out, yeah, really wide. Like, that could have cost him the time.
Yeah, well, we're about to find out. He's already at 2:34, 2:35. He's got to beat 2:39.6, and again, I'm not sure he can do this. It's going to be tight. No.
14.2.
Well, again, somewhere in the back end of the stage, Hirvonen.
Listen to the crowd.
Yeah. Maybe it was just the fact that Hirvonen in the second half of this stage was absolutely on it.
I believe this is probably his greatest victory. First on the road on Thursday, first on the road on Saturday, first on the road Friday. It's only this stage he's not been first on the road, and he has driven the wheels off that car, and it's got to rank as one of his best.
Yeah, you just hear the fans cheering Mikko. He might not have been able to win this weekend in the overall rally, but He's on course at the moment to win the power stage, depending on what Seb can do through this flat-out sprint to the finish. He competed in Finland 11 times, won here, of course, in 2008, becoming only the 4th non-Scandinavian to achieve that feat. And he's 0.3 of a second up on Mikko Hirvonen.
This man just doesn't know when to give up. He wants every single point that he can take out of anybody. Latvala, his teammate OJ Hirvonen.
You still think he's driving at 95%?
Maybe not. He might be for load. He's so good. He might be.
Well, that is true. But whatever the...
People think it's boring that he's won so much. What you need to do is just admire and respect what this guy can do. Because this is a unique event.
Yeah, he does seem to make it look easy, but this man is quite simply imperious. 2:39.6 to beat. He's just got to power through this really long, sweeping left-hander. Beautifully done by Sebastian. 2:39.6 to beat. Oh, I don't think he could do it. No. 2:40.2. Mikko Hirvonen takes the consolation of the power stage. But it's that man, Sebastian Loeb, who's claimed yet another Rally Finland win. That is a first. Sebastian Loeb, up to this point, was the only man who had a 100% scoring record in all the power stages. There's confirmation. Mikko Hirvonen, he takes the 3 points for the power stage win. Jari-Matti Latvala, they make it a forward 1-2 and a finish 1-2 on the power stage at least. And Sebastian Ogier, he claims the 1 point for finishing third.
This is your third power stage win, and after a trying weekend, this must be great.
Yeah, it is, and I'm a little bit surprised. It felt like it's definitely not going to be enough. It wasn't such a clean drive, but I'm sure everybody was suffering with the tires, and of course it's a fantastic win here, the power stage, in front of my home crowd. You know, I just kind of have a little, it's just 10 minutes away, so it's really good to win it here.
Sebastian Loeb takes his second career victory in Finland, followed closely by our featured driver Jari-Matti Latvala, with Ogier in third. Mikko Hirvonen recovered from 36th place on day one to finish 4th overall.
Seb, you're the first non-Scandinavian to ever win this rally twice. That must be a great feeling.
Yeah, for sure. It's really a great feeling because it was an extremely difficult rally. But it's very fast. We had a lot of pressure because the rivals, Ogier and Latvala, were pushing very hard, using strategy every evening. So I had to clean the road for 3 days, and finally still here with the victory. So a great moment.
In the Drivers' Championship, Loeb now leads Hirvonen by 27 points, with Sebastian Ogier just 4 points behind Mikko in third. The race for the 2011 title remains wide open. In the Manufacturers' Championship, Citroën remained dominant at the top, 65 points ahead of the Ford Abu Dhabi team, with M Sport Stobart rounding out the top three. The Support Championships have also been tackling the Finnish stages this weekend, and in the WRC Academy it's been a battle royale between Championship leader Egon Kauer and Ireland's Craig Breen. Breen was the overnight leader coming into the final day, but he had his work cut out to keep the charging Kauer at bay. Amazingly, the lead changed hands 5 times over this final day in Finland, but it was Egon who eventually reigned supreme, maintaining his 100% winning record to add another victory and maximum championship points to his already impressive tally.
Well done, man. I mean it. I really mean it.
That was a great battle, man.
In the SWRC, it was a familiar sight. Finland's Juho Hänninen started the final day with a clear 1 minute advantage over Martin Prokop. He could have been forgiven for easing off, but that's not the Finn style, and he spent the morning continuing to build his lead. Meanwhile, Prokop seemed happy to settle for second. He looked after his Fiesta over the course of the day to claim the runner-up spot. But the drive of the day came from the recovering Oyt Tanak. After his day one problems putting him out of contention for the win, he had nothing to lose. Flat out over the day's stages to recover to third place. However, Hannanen remained in control on home soil, winning the most special event of them all in front of friends and family by a clear margin, and more importantly, bagged another 25 championship points. There's confirmation of Hannanen's second victory of the year from Prokop and Tanak, Hermann Gassner Jr. rounding out the top four. In the championship, Juho Hannanen extends his lead to 86 points, with Prokop second on 68 and Tanak in third. The Abu Dhabi spirit of the rally goes to the PWRC's Mikko Pahonen, who tackled the event in his two-wheel drive Renault Clio, beating the four-wheel drive machines of his rivals. From the fast-flowing gravel roads of Finland to the super smooth tarmac roads of Rally Deutschland, Germany is the next stop for the WRC. Sebastian Loeb is unbeaten in Trier, but we have a true tarmac expert back in the championship. And how will these new cars perform on asphalt? It's another record in the book for Sebastian Loeb, the first non-Scandinavian ever to take 2 career victories on Finnish soil. As ever, Finland has provided the WRC with it all: high-speed crashes, high-speed jumps, and the best rally action we've seen all year. Keep up to date with all the news on WRC.com, but until Germany in 2 weeks' time, it's goodbye.